Well, thank you, Randy, for the introduction this morning. I hope everybody's doing well out there. And this is not going to be a sales pitch. So, I just want that to be clear in advance. Even though my job, part of it, is to sell sponsorships, this is really to get to know the event side of things. What happens inside the chamber? What goes on in terms of events? So, I want to start out by saying that uh, going into nonprofit world was a big change for me. The hours seem to be about the same, but it has been a really a blessing to get into this and to learn more about our community. I was always a people person, and I always wanted to get to know more about the business side of things. What businesses and things that were here had to offer in and around Surrey County. So that's kind of what led me down this path into the Chamber of Commerce, and I became passionate about it once I saw kind of what we stood for. And early on, we kind of had it drilled in our heads that our mission was to advance, promote, and encourage successful business growth for our membership. And we do that through advocacy, networking, information, education, and all the things that we do. Networking is one of them. It's really important that we work and we do those things efficiently. So advocacy, of course, being the voice of business and the pro-business agenda. Networking, bringing businesses and people together. That would be like, your what we're doing right now, or things like business after hours or lunch with leaders or any of the large events where people gather. That's really where I fall under the category of networking. Information being kind of that go-to source for members when they need help. And then education, working with the school systems, county and the public schools through educational seminars that we also help support through the community college. They do a lot of seminars and topics of the day. So those are kind of the things that the chamber goes under. And then events fall under committees. So we have chamber members that are, our number one, executive committee, board directors, and then the committees such as public policy, membership, marketing, workforce, and then, of course, what I do is events. And that is a very broad area. So I'll kind of give you an idea of some of the things that we do in events. And of course, you're always welcome to sit in on our events committees. We have those the second Thursday morning in the month, right before this event. But through events, we kind of do different things. So I guess I'll give you the overview of what event sponsorship looks like. First of all, let's just hit that and get that out of the way. Event sponsorship for us, if you're a member, only chamber members can sponsor chamber events. Event sponsorship is a great way to spotlight your company. Sponsorship promotes your brand, your logo, and it kind of gets you above your competitors at those different events. Sponsor logos are used in event signage. Mallory, of course, is on this call. She does a lot with the marketing, emails, and social media. We sometimes we're covered in the local media as well with radio, television, and print. And then we engage team members with prospective business clients, and we can customize higher end sponsor packages to fit your needs. So there may be something that we're not doing or something that you want to add and you're a high level sponsor. We try to work with that customer on an individual basis to meet the needs that they're looking for in advertising. Pricing packages, we do that to fit all budgets. And then the chamber champions, that is a season ticket to all events. We've got several of those on the call now. This year, as Randy mentioned, a legacy, Carport Central and Seabricks, Northern Regional, Ridgecrest, Surrey Communications, Extreme Marketing, and Mountain Valley Hospice. They are promoted year round. They are in everything that we do, everything that comes out of the chamber that you see, they are on that somewhere listed with their logo. So that is very important to us to have those guys. Another thing to mention is some of those events that sponsorships are included on, some of the major events. Annual meeting that we had this past year, we've had to pivot because of COVID. Everything changed last year. We were getting ready to have our Excellence in Business Awards, and all of that changed once COVID hit. And so we had to kind of rethink how to do our major events, and some of them we had to do online. And it was going back to my roots through television broadcast. I had to figure out, well, how do I do this again? How do I edit, and how do I convey this, storyboard that I want to go with? So that's what we did through the annual meeting, and we're going to get ready to do that next week through the Excellence in Business Awards, which will be held on the 30th on YouTube at 7 p.m. We hope you'll join us for that on the Chamber's YouTube account. But, other events such as our golf tournament, we're doing 2 of those this year. We've got one that will be June 4th. That's taking place at Cross Creek Country Club. And then we also have one in September, which will be at Primlin. We have 2 job fairs this year. One, we wanted to focus on the student body aspect. So coming up in April, the end of April, we're going to be looking at doing a job fair for students. And we're hoping to get really good response. We're going to do this at Veterans Park, and we're securing the date now. But this will be a way to get folks out to actually get in front of those businesses that are looking to hire. And we're in collaboration with the Surrey County Schools, Mary City Schools, and the college. So that is one that we haven't done, but in the similar vein, we also have another job fair in July. We mentioned the golf tournament, Autumn Leaves Festival in October, Chicken Stew in November, Holiday Gala in December, and right now we're in the middle of a citrus sale. So all these events, I know it can be overwhelming at times because we have so much content. We are dripping with content in events that, sometimes it can be overlooked. And but each one is very important to the Chamber. Speaking of our large events, the largest event, the Autumn Leaves Festival, was canceled in 2019. The Chamber suffered a significant loss in not having that event, close to about $100,000 that we lost, that we cannot recoup, only other than having more events. But they do take place, the Autumn Leaves Festival takes place the second weekend, every full weekend, second full weekend in October. It was created by the Chamber in 1966. This will be our 55th year. We skipped the 54th and went straight to the 55th year. We tracked, like Randy said, 200 vendors, crowds estimated at over 200,000 people, live music, great food, handcrafts, kids areas. So we're hoping that can all take place. And with the COVID restrictions going down, we're planning to have that as it is right now. And then we'll just have to play it by ear as we get closer. But it is a real economic boost for Surrey County. And, we did, I can't remember, Randy, we did a deep mission impact, or we did a tourism impact. And it was in the millions of dollars that it generated in taxes. And of course, you can just ask any of the hotels, any of the restaurants. It is usually one of their best weeks that they have during the year. So it is really important to our business and to our members as well. Some of the irregular events, which I'm glad to say are going to be coming back, held monthly now, will be our Business After Hours. Our first one is going to be April the 8th, and this will be at Simmons Insurance in Pilot Mountain, hosted by Simmons, BNI, and the Pilot Mountain Business Council. Really looking forward to get back to that because I miss the interactions with all of our folks. But usually those are held the first Thursdays of each month. It's going to vary a little bit this year, depending upon when we can get everything worked out. Because right now we have to be outside, given the limits, 25 indoors, 50 outdoors. I think they've upped that 50 to 100 now, but we still want to keep people as safe as possible. And like I mentioned, with the college, we still do the educational seminars. And you can go on there. It's free. They're held monthly around the county, it's really good if you can check that out. Other events that you may not be familiar with that we do, Lunch with Leaders. We do that in and around the county, new member orientation, candidates forums, ribbon cuttings and grand openings, Business of the Month awards, and we're always seeking new event ideas. Every event has a lifespan, And hopefully the Autumn Leaves Festival will never have a lifespan, but all events have lifespans. So we're always seeking new ideas from you guys on things that we may not be doing that could benefit the business community. Some of the ways that we use marketing, I'll pick on Mallory here a little bit. I really work well with Mallory, and so I'll bounce ideas off of her to help promote businesses. But she's in charge of doing all of our marketing, which includes our weekly e-newsletters, the Chamber Connects that you see. We have people that write stories for us that we include in the Chamber newsletters. We also have folks that will submit items that they want us to put up. So we send those out in blast emails that you can actually purchase on certain things that are going on. Maybe it's an event, a project, a meeting. We offer those services. We also do text messaging, and we put things on our website, weekly columns in the Mount Airy News. We're actually trying to get our podcast up and running. That's one thing I think is one thing that we want to do for these companies that are sponsors. But let me mention that sponsoring an event, yeah, it does require money to sponsor a certain event, but there are things that you can do, like we said, through e-newsletters and maybe Facebook, Instagram, things that you may have for us to share. As a member, you can use those tools and contact us, me or Mallory, and those are free tools that you can use. So I would encourage you, if you don't have the budget, whatever, we would love for you to spend money with us, but it's not always about that. It's about helping our members and opening doors for members. So I would encourage you to look at all of our different marketing aspects and see if there's something that you could benefit from. We have over close to 6,000 followers on Facebook, almost 1,000 followers on Twitter. Instagram is getting close to 15,000 or 1,500 followers. LinkedIn, over 100 followers, and then YouTube, we're really pumping YouTube right now. So I guess I'll give you my top 10 ways to build your business through the chamber. And then I can take questions. I don't want to, I want to leave time for that. I would encourage you, if you've never attended the monthly business after hours, attend this one coming up in April or May. We'll be in May at Frontier Natural Gas on May the 6th. Attend one of those. And if you have attended and you haven't attended in a really long time, come by and see what we're doing now. It may be different from what you remember. It may be the same. But we really encourage you, because that's a way that you can get in front of someone without sending an email, without being on the phone, and actually handing a physical business card and telling your elevator speech of 60 seconds or whatever, and saying, representing your company and trying to get some good leads built up. Sponsor and attend a major event. If you can't sponsor it, attend it. You'll see what we're talking about, and then you can kind of get involved with the chamber. I always say, come in expecting to do business. Make sure you have your business cards. We have a lot of companies that don't have business cards, or the people that come in, they don't carry them. Always carry your business cards to these events. Advertise on the chamber website, membership directory. It's coming out once a year. We're building that directory right now, or look at those blast emails that we were talking about. Join a chamber committee. I can't stress that enough. We always need folks in committees to help us. They're kind of our guides. They help us see what we're missing, or they help us improve what we're doing, or let us know what we are doing and what we need to improve on. So that can come in the form of committees. We have ambassadors that Christy runs, and then of course our events committee. Meet with Randy, meet with myself, or actually, we can come out to you guys and take a tour of wherever you're at, learn more about your company. I think it's important that this chamber goes out and actually interacts with our members. It may not be every day that we can get to you, but we try to get out there and meet you guys and see what your needs are. So always invite us out to your place, and we'll put it on our calendars. And then that can lead into hosting an event. So you may want to do an open house. You need a new product demo you want us to see. Invite the chamber to come to that, and we'll invite all the members to check it out. So that's definitely what I would say. And then of course the staff can provide soft introductions on your behalf to prospects. So maybe there's a prospect that you've been really trying to get. Maybe you're trying to get with Northern Regional, or you're trying to get with somebody else. Well, they're chamber champions, or they've sponsored this event. That's a way the chamber can help you. Just say, hey, I can't get in touch with this guy. Travis, it looks like you connect with him. Maybe you could just open the door for me and I'll walk through it. That's stuff that we can do. And you can come to events and I can do that for you. Any of the staff can do that, or ambassadors. And then writing an article, as I mentioned, for the chamber newsletter, or present a seminar to the members, or what we're doing right now when we're doing our weekly seminars or weekly, mixers. This is a way for you to represent your company. And Keisha McDermott and those guys last week did a great job with Goodwill and NC Works. I know Mitchell's is coming up. Surrey County Schools, US Cellular, all these guys are taking advantage of the programs that we have. And I just say take as much advantage as you can. I know the chamber is not, is not a business that you run, but it can be a tool that you can use to help run your business. And that's what we're here for. So that's kind of what I wanted to go over today. And I want to thank everybody for their investment in the chamber. We want to help your business succeed. And we don't want to make any promises that we can't keep. We just want to be the place that you call when there's nowhere else to call, or when you need help growing and networking and doing all the things that we can to help your business succeed. So, Randy, that's what I have. I hope I didn't talk too long.
No, I think great presentation, and the people that work at the chamber are passionate about what they do, and we can talk about it all day long, but we certainly want to hear from you. And we had a few questions. I'll add a couple of things to Travis covered just about all of it, and that is, you mentioned the Autumn Leaves Festival was canceled 2019. It was 2020. We canceled.
20. I'm trying to forget 2020. I'm blocking it out.
2019 was probably the most successful festival we had done financially.
Yes.
And we make no bones about it, folks. Some of these events certainly are money makers for the chamber, because we don't receive any public money to operate. Now I'm going to have to change that story, because the chamber did receive a PPP loan, which we hope will be forgiven. We're going to work on that. Another thing is that we try not to be in a situation of nickel and diming our members too much. I haven't heard it from our members, but occasionally we try to be sensitive to everybody in the world is raising money for something. From the Girl Scouts to the Rotary to somebody else. I mean, here's what Travis and I work hard to do, is that we want to make sure that it's a quality event. If an event is held, that it's a quality event. There are too many events that all of us go to that are just not well done. And we've had a few of those, but we try to make it quality. And number two is we try to give back tangible benefit to the sponsor. It's not just a gift of $100 on a sponsorship or $1,000 on a sponsorship. So we really work hard to that. A couple of comments, Travis, in the chat. You've probably been watching it as well. Don Masuro writes, Travis, you're the heartbeat of the chamber by bringing chamber members interesting and helpful information. Thank you for what you're doing. Joe asked about the golf events. I put the dates down there that I'm aware of. Russ Parmley mentioned, you mentioned events that have a lifespan and looking for new opportunities. What things from last year do you think you'll take with you as you plan for future events?
Well, I guess we look at different factors. One is the attendance of these events growing, or are they shrinking, or are they staying the same? Two, what are our financial goals? We all have budgets in all of our businesses that we have to meet. Mine as well. I'm a salesman, plain and simple. I am a salesman, but I am here to help you. And so I look at my budget, and if I make my budget and I'm continually growing that budget, then that indicates to me that we still have some growth, that we still have interest in this event. And then thirdly, we try to ask our membership, just like we're doing right now, what are the events that you like? What are the events you think aren't good? And that way we can use that social media platform to engage our members. So I would say those are my determining factors on if an event stays in 2021 and beyond, or if it needs to be reduced to a smaller capacity and we focus on another event. And that's how we do it year by year. We go through the budget in September. Luckily, knock on wood, and I'm not bragging on myself, I'm just saying we've had a really good 4 years, 5 years, where we've made all of our budgets except for the Autumn Leaves Festival since I've been here. And that is due to the generosity of the membership. But so far, we're continuing to do what we have done. We've added those new events like the new job fair for the students, the executive tournament at Primlin. We've never done, I don't know of anyone that's done a Primlin golf tournament. And then we added a chicken stew last year, and we added a citrus sale this year. All of those have met the citrus sale is meeting the financial goal, and I think that's what we base it off of, is those 3 factors.
Yeah, I would also say, I would add to that, our events must have a business focus.
Yes.
We don't do a lot of what I call in the community fluffy events. A chamber colleague sent me this note that I keep on my phone. It says chambers generally fall into 2 categories. You're either a 3C chamber or a 3P chamber. The P chambers are people who focus their efforts on parades, pageants, and parties. And there's a lot of them. They spend a lot of money on a St. Patrick's Day parade. I know a big chamber in Virginia that runs a huge beauty pageant. Not our cup of tea. Not in my humble opinion, because it's got to have a business focus. And the chambers that are 3C chambers are ones that are catalysts, conveners, and champions. But here is another question, Travis. Are there events from the chamber's past that you no longer do? You no longer execute that may come back?
Well, I guess they have come back. I haven't axed any events, and quite frankly, we've only added more events. I came when we only had 6 major events. Now we're doing what, 9, 10, almost 11 events now that are major, and we've added more elements. So when I guess in the past 2 years, we've added the Pilot Mountain Business Council, which is an outreach to our members in Pilot Mountain and non-members as well, to get those guys interested and get together to do business. We've done lunch with leaders with them. We've actually brought back lunch with leaders. That was one that was axed before I came along. We brought that back, and it's been successful. But you know, all of these events that we're doing right now are 15 years old at least. So that's why I always look at the lifespan, is because these are long time events. We did a breakfast long ago. That one was cut out before I came along. We would do the early morning business after hours. Now I guess not business before hours. Right. Wake Up Mount Airy, I think it was called. Right. And that was taken away because we saw the decline happening. But there has been a renewed interest in that. So it just ebbs and flows. And we're looking to add that back into the scenario as well.
Jessica, I asked a question, and I was going to say the only event that I can recall that we used to do that we don't do anymore and we have no plans to bring back is we used to do an administrative professional lunch. And I'm not sure, other than, you know, attendance dropped off, but we still give an administrative professional award each year as part of our awards program. And Esther wrote a nice thing up here about the Autumn Leaves Festival. We kindly call the Autumn Leaves Festival here at the Chamber the Golden Goose. We have about 60% of our revenue tied up in events, 40% in membership, but about 85% of our revenue on events is in one event. Not a place where you want to be, frankly, but it is what it is. And if all the moons align and COVID goes away, you'll see the festival come back this year. We are planning on it now. We've already pre-sold how many booths?
Close to 75. 75
booths of 150, 200, depending on how we do it. So,
last thing, Randy, I want to mention, Don sent me a direct message, and you probably didn't see it. I guess, how do the program needs of larger chamber members differ from smaller businesses? they differ greatly, and it could be, you know, public relations for larger businesses. They focus on, you know, I mean, you know, Wayne Farms or any, I'm not saying they have PR or anything. I'm just saying Wayne Farms supports themselves. They are in everything that, I mean, you know, they need us for, you know, getting jobs there. They need us for promoting what they're doing and being efficient in the
Right.
environment and things of that nature. I'm just using them as an example, but they are so successful on their own that they use the chamber as differently than maybe as a sponsor would of a smaller business that's trying to get out there and make a name for themselves. That's kind of what I mean in that regards. But each one is different, so you have to cater to them differently through each one and through each sponsorship. So it can get really complicated, and you have to stay on top of it through each company and what they need. You have to build that relationship up, and it takes years. I came in when there was, you know, when I got on my computer, unfortunately, I didn't have anything. And so I had to build those relationships, and you're constantly building those relationships, because if somebody in the executive level quits, gets fired, whatever, and someone new comes in, then you have to start that relationship all over again. So it is a constant relationship builder.